Good everyone, welcome to this video. Today we have a Dumb Comments episode part 2, shall we say. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like the first one, so yeah, I'm doing another one because I've been getting a lot more dumb comments recently. And thanks to a user, I got my final one, and you're going to see this particular user quite a lot. Same rules as last time. I don't want people attacking these a lot in the comments. This is purely for a bit of a laugh and just an insight into what I get on my channel. So, starting out with number one is Brian Reznov, who said, I have this plane also in like 9 days. This was about the B-10B. However, at the time, he couldn't get the tutorial gold. So I don't know why he's saying it now, and yeah. Maybe he did it before, but yeah, this was a confusing comment to me, and yeah, as you can tell, this was just a really weird comment that I got, and I thought I'd include this one just because I'm sure people will appreciate it. I also got a bit of feedback from last time, so that's why I've opened it up in Paint 3D, by the way. Basically, they struggled to read the comments that were featured in the videos, so I've done this just to make it a bit easier for people to read them. I hope that helps anyway. So, next comment is by Derek Reinhardt. Unfortunately, he's going to appear a couple of times. Has this plane been made great again because it doesn't fight Sweden anymore? I believe this is about the Russian P-40. I don't quite remember. And yet it still fights Sweden. Yeah, that saying not all the time doesn't make your comment any less stupid. If it doesn't fight Sweden, it doesn't fight Sweden full stop. And saying it usually fights with Germany doesn't mean it doesn't fight Sweden, because it still does. And well, yeah, that's just how Derek is, and you're going to see a couple of times that he's going to appear in this. Next comment by Adrian Viorel, I think that's how you say it. This is on my T126 review. At the tier you are playing, there are no retards. Quite bad commentary. And I replied with, at the tier I was playing at, there was a lot of retards because 90% of the player base refused to learn from their mistakes, which is very true. Gotta love how you say bad commentary, yet you watched it regardless and made a comment. And according to the analytics, he watched the whole fucking thing. So clearly the video was good enough for you, and you just wanted to find a way to make a complaint. Yes, at lower tier, there are retards, but that's only because the ones that are new, I don't call retards. I just call them newbies, because that's what they are. They are new players. But then you get the level 100s who die once and just leave, a bit like Napalm. Yeah, those are the retards because they just rush in thinking, oh, I'm skilled. They die and then they just leave. They do the Napalm trick, as I call it. So that's another one. Next comment is by Joseph Stalin, who says, finally a change to airfields, and I don't know what the hell he's typing on. This was on my Christmas video for the discussion on airfield camping video. And I'm just completely confused. A, why you keep hitting the caps lock so much, or the shift key, or whatever. And yeah, nothing's changed. It's a discussion. And then he says it's going to be changed in the future. It hasn't been changed for nearly 4 years, buddy. It ain't changing anytime soon. That's all I'm saying, but hey ho, that's just the type of comments I get. Next one is by Momosh Momosh. This was on my Lancaster Mark 1/3 review. And he asks, can it survive at least a few shots and how are the gunners? He hadn't even watched 5 seconds of the video. So I replied with, if you watched the video properly, you'd have both of those questions answered. Do I really need to go any further than this? If you're coming to find a review on an aircraft, watch the fucking review. That's the whole point of trying to find a review. But hey, people are just dumb, I suppose, and this is just the world we live in, unfortunately. Next comment is also by Derek Reinhardt. Now, this one was a little bit weirder because I wanted to put in the We're Away because that's what the comment was from. It was from the We're Away video. Um, and bear in mind, I reviewed this vehicle, I believe, in late or early 2020. And he puts, Joe, if you think this plane is better in Ground RB, then do the review in Ground RB. No one is forcing you to do the review in Air Realistic, which doesn't seem like a dumb comment. But then you think, hang on a minute, Joe's already reviewed this thing. I'm just going to zoom in now that you know it's the Where Away, by the way, just so you can read this a bit better. Um, and I said, where does it say review? This is not a review. I reviewed this bird ages ago. He then replies, where does it say it isn't a review? I'll answer that for you. Premium Series. That's not a review. I already reviewed this bloody plane. Oh, Derek. Next comment. We're going to have a couple from this guy, and this was on my discussion of pay to win video. And this guy clearly thinks War Thunder's like World of Tanks, because I have no explanation for his dumbassery. He starts off with, pay to win is a cheat set up by the match or the game maker. It is cheating regardless. Enhanced vehicles, even when they have the same one as you. So I think people getting aimbots is just... And then he stops right there. Mistakes my ass. You're an effing liar. Every paid for play, which it's pay to play, by the way, buddy, player has superior hit points and armor hit points. This isn't World of Tanks or World of Aircraft or World of Warplanes, you dumbass. For goodness sake, it's called War Thunder, not World of Warcraft, or not freaking World of Warplanes, or World of Tanks, or World of Warships. Read the fucking title of the video, you dumbass. So then I replied with, did you actually watch the video? Pay to win can only be applied to very few vehicles in the game, and those select few are most likely going to be hit with a nerf bat very soon. If you think premiums are cheating, then I think you really need to spend some time in ground forces to discover what cheating really is. Enhanced vehicles. Yeah, that's BS. The US Zero is exactly the same as the Japanese Zero, which it is. It's just a skin. That is it. As you saw, the pilot in the video that called my plane pay to win made a huge error. It was not about my plane being enhanced. He was doing over 100 miles an hour more than my Zero. He pulled up into the vertical, draining his energy and getting himself killed. Yeah, I think we know who the dumbass here is. And then an aimbot for premium vehicles? That's not how it works, buddy. Sure, you could just type in War Thunder cheat, and I'm not even joking, you could do this right now, and find an aimbot. But that's not made by Gaijin, and that is certainly not something that you would get on a premium vehicle for just buying it. In which case, I'd have about, what, 60 or so aimbots, and Harry would have in the hundreds. So that proves how full of shit this guy is. But he continues. I don't play planes, I play tanks. Every time I go up against a pay player with the same tank and hit him in vital spots 6, 7, or 9 times, nothing happens to them. Then they hit me once, I am dead. This sounds like a aiming issue to me. Total bullshit. It's pretty much all the guys with the skull next to their name. Yeah, that skull. If you don't know what I mean and you don't play tanks, the skull basically indicates that player has killed you. Yeah, that's how dumb this guy is. He says they are so confident you can't destroy them, they charge you and I nailed them several times. Nothing happens to them. Either someone is cheating or the game gives them the edge over free players. That is why I only snipe from cover and a good distance. No way I can go up against toe-to-toe those that have a skull by their name. So who's cheating? I also read an article saying that all paid players get a hit point advantage. You can't even spell advantage over free players. Again, this is not World of Warships, this is not World of Warplanes, and this is not World of Tanks. There are no hit points. The only real I would say hit point sort of thing would be module damage, but even then that's indicated by color. That's far different from hit points. So I replied with him saying, the skull on the name means that specific player has killed you. It has nothing to do with using premiums. This sounds to me like a serious case of learn to play. All vehicles have a weakness, and learning what they have for weaknesses is vital to destroying them. The game does not give any sort of edge to those who buy premium tanks, planes, or anything else. I don't know where you've got this from, but your claim is extremely false. The only thing correct about this article is yes, you do get better crew skill points from premium vehicles, which increase things like turret rotation speed, reload time shortened, etc. But you can earn the same crew skill points in a non-premium vehicle. Why do you think Harry has so many ace crews on his aircraft? Because he plays them a lot and they're premium, so he gets additional RP gain. He also has a premium account. So again, this guy is full of shit. Another one from Donald Stevens. He continues. Article from a dev site. I have played this game for over 340 hours and I can attest to it with utmost uncertainty, to one critical aspect of the game. It is completely pay to win. The more you play, the more skill your crew or playing crews will have, thus increasing your reload, accuracy, G tolerance, etc. If you do not plan on buying a starter pack and spending at minimum another $50, I spent upwards of 100 and am now bored with the game. On top of it, this game is not for you. This is not by any means a free-to-play game unless you enjoy being fodder until you spend a significant chunk of money. Now, before I continue the rest part of his comment, again, this guy's full of shit. Yes, using a premium vehicle does mean you get increased crew skills. But that doesn't mean you have to use that, right? You don't have to buy a premium vehicle to have the same edge as someone else. For example, the Befehlswagen Panzer IV. That's arguably worse than some of the Panzers in the tech tree, and I bet this guy calls that pay to win. Now, here is where his comment does kind of get a bit of point, but at the same time, stupidity from the second part. Not only that, the game's matchmaking system sucks. This I will agree with. The game's defo got problems with the matchmaking. You will get Korean War era jets put up against your late World War II propeller-driven fighters. The same with tanks. This is where he gets a bit dumb. Again, you would be using a Stuart 3 and be up against late Panzer IVs or T-34s. No, you won't. That's down to your lineups. The most powerful Panzer IV you will meet is the Panzer IV F1, and you won't even meet a T-34 and a Stuart 3 because that's 3.3 and you're at a 2.0 tank. So that's your fault there, buddy. Some nations' planes, such as the good old US of A, that indicates where he's from, are so bad you will regret ever playing with them if you get past level 7. 85% of the players in the level 8 to 12 brackets are German planes with 20mm gun pods, which rip you out of the sky in about half a second. Yeah, because Germans just stuffed the cannons in their aircraft like it was going out of style. And even then, this is a learn to play issue. I cope with fighting German planes in American aircraft. And this is really where he just becomes more childish. This game is also run by a Russian developer that has the general manager staff of 18-year-old kids from around the globe running its critical operations. Do not expect any issue you have with the game to be solved in any matter, as they are worse than useless. I would like to point out I had to sort out the Japanese starter pack issue I had a couple of weeks back. And they fixed that perfectly fine. It took them a bit longer than it should because they're in Russia, I'm in the UK. Bit of a time zone difference there, but that's fine. They sorted it, and I have the vehicles. So again, you're full of shit. So I replied with, geez, you need some cheese with that wine, one of my favourite lines. The game isn't pay to win. As I said in the video, there are very few circumstances in which the game is pay to win. The matchmaker does suck, I'll agree with that, but it's gotten significantly better over the years. I should know. I've played the game for nearly 6 years, and in fact next month it will be my 6-year anniversary. And again, the last part about US planes sucking compared to German planes. Again, I'd like to point out something called learning to play. If you use your advantages over the German planes by side climbing, you can use your superior speed and most of the time energy retention. This isn't a boom and zoom characteristic, by the way, because obviously you'll be above them. And defeat your opponents. I play quite a lot of US. I have no issues putting down German players regardless of what they fly. And of course, we have a final comment from, I'll let you guess. Just get the old ticker going. It's not this guy, by the way. Have a think. Who do you think it is? I don't know, write it in your comment or something. And the final comment is Derek Reinhardt. Yep. He just loves making himself look a fool, doesn't he? What even is the H81, the Chinese premium P40, by the way? Was it made by the same company as the H75, the P36 Hawk? Considering they have a very similar designation, they are both built by Curtiss, and they are both in the same vicinity of time frame. Yeah, I should think so. This seems to me like something you could Google. In fact, you can. Really, Derek? Come on. I ain't even had my caffeine yet. It's nearly 12 o'clock and I ain't had my bloody caffeine yet. And even I've got my brain switched on for this crap. Jesus. Oh dear. But this is just what Derek is like, unfortunately. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's second part of the dumb comments. I know it's been a long time since we did the last one, and I can only apologise for that. But with the last few weeks, I've gotten an influx of dumb comments, and Derek was the last one that I needed to get this video done, because obviously I'll wait till I have 10 at least. Because obviously I don't get that many comments on all the stuff that are done, so I just have to wait really, and it takes a while. But I hope you enjoyed this one. There will be a part 3 eventually, I just can't say when, because obviously these screenshots are going to be deleted, and we're going to start with a fresh new folder. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the dumb comments, and I will see you all on the next one.